Cyril Xaba says he will tackle service delivery challenges in the city, including water supply issues. Xaba says he'll strive for transparency, accountability and creating jobs. The ANC councillor was elected during a special council sitting just this morning. He takes over from Kuthula Thwala, who's been redeployed to serve in the National Council of Provinces.
Working collectively, we will review areas that have not performed well and implement new approaches. In the process, enhance transparency and improve accountability to ensure effective and efficient service delivery. To that end, we'll also ensure that those entrusted with the responsibilities are responsive and more accountable. Our priorities are clear. To name but a few, we will focus on improving water and sanitation infrastructure, as well as ensuring uninterrupted water supply, a safe and clean city, inner city rejuvenation, strengthening good governance and fighting corruption, attracting investment and promoting an inclusive economy that creates jobs. That some parts of Hillcrest and Claremont Extension in the Pinetown area were without water for an extended period. I found it utterly unacceptable. I shall write to the city manager to ask for a detailed report as to why the residents of Claremont Extension and Hillcrest were without water, whether such could have been prevented or at least mitigated, whether there was negligence on the part of our officials, and the proposed course of action.
Let's stay with that address. Xaba says he wants to work with various government institutions to guarantee good governance.
Speaker, I shall be following up on other areas that have been without water for a considerable period of time, and I will treat these as urgent. In our effort to promote clean and accountable administration, we commit to work with all institutions that are charged with the responsibility of enforcing good governance, such as the Auditor General, Treasury, and the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs.
All right, let's continue with this discussion now with political analyst from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Kuthula Thwala. It's great to talk to you this afternoon. Thanks very much for coming onto the program. We'll get to Cyril Xaba in just a moment, but shall we begin with unpacking the legacy of Kuthula Thwala? Coming into the position of Mayor 2019 on the back of corruption-accused Zandile Gumede, how would you rate the past 5 years?
Thank you very much, Craig, for having me. Good afternoon to the viewers as well. Kuthula Thwala, in all fairness, has not done justice to the people of eThekwini. It is for that reason that eThekwini, that has been known to be the region that has been the stronghold of the African National Congress. It was during his time, we understand that the cookie started to crumble during the time of Zandile Gumede, owing to the allegations of corruption. Hence, we are aware of the legal issues surrounding Zandile Gumede. But as for Kuthula Thwala, during his tenure as an MEC for transport, there were places that remained unaddressed during under his leadership. And even that extended to a time when he was not failing to become a hands-on type of a leader who would monitor and try to work very close with the communities. So those 5 years were very poor 5 years, hence you know the story of late.
Yeah, I mean, and there are various issues that we can point to highlight that, right? There's the AG's report, there's the deterioration of beaches. I mean, the last time any beaches in Durban held blue flag status was in 2021, 2 years after Mxolisi Kaunda came into the position of mayor. I can't imagine what that's done for the tourism income of a municipality that relied quite heavily on local tourism, for one.
eThekwini has always made a lot of income from the tourism sector, and it has done a major boost for the KwaZulu-Natal, bearing in mind the fact that eThekwini is just one metro in KZN. So it carries a lot of weight in terms of what KwaZulu-Natal can gain in terms of finances coming from the tourism sector. So I think with his natural inability to lead properly, that is to make people to account, we are aware that it could have been the issues that were beyond his control as a person, but a good leader would have taken some steps to ensure that everyone remains accountable. So you are correct, he has failed many people of eThekwini. We are just mentioning tourism. Let us go to the people at the local level in the communities. It was during his tenure that there was the issue of the shortage of water supply, over and above the fact that he has been a mayor that was sitting at a time when there was load shedding. The places, affluent areas such as Westville, for instance, you have now the situation of the Westville Crisis Committee because of the poor service delivery in the areas that are historically known to not suffer from such challenges. So my view is that Mxolisi Kaunda did not do justice to the people of eThekwini.
Yeah, and yet he gave a stunning media briefing. I'm just looking for exactly, I think it was on Thursday, where he gave himself a pat on the back, saying he's got a clean record, he's got unqualified audits, one of the few municipalities that don't owe Eskom for electricity or Umgeni Utukela water for bulk water services. He also claimed that hundreds of billions of rand have been injected into projects under his watch. He says he believes, and the residents of eThekwini believe, he's done a really good job.
I think that was political kicking from the mayor, from the former mayor, and he was comparing himself with his predecessor, who has been known to the community to have done wrong things, hence she's in court even today. Yes, there could be an element of truth in the fact that there was no wastage, but did the people that he claimed to serve benefit? The answer is no.
Yeah.
And in a political setup, you can only make your judgment when you have a shrinking support of the voters for your organization that is leading that particular metro.
Yeah, certainly. I'm seeing a number of reports have a few cheeky headlines about Mxolisi Kaunda's legacy, some calling him his legacy one of sewage and garbage piling up on the streets of the metro. I want to take you to now the new mayor, just giving his first speech wearing that mayoral chain earlier this morning, Kuthula. It doesn't come as a surprise that Cyril Xaba is now the new mayor. He was introduced as a councillor at the last sitting to fill the vacant seat of Mxolisi Kaunda.
Yes, it was not going to come as a surprise. Obviously, when news broke that he has been made to become part of the system of eThekwini, one started to get a sense that he was touted to replace Mxolisi Kaunda. Maybe the African National Congress, being the leader of eThekwini currently, is trying to respond realistically to the outcry which has seen them on the brink of losing the control of eThekwini municipality. Why I say this is because in Cyril Xaba, we have got a person with requisite credentials in terms of educational background, because we understand that this is a person who holds a master's degree in law, LLM if you call it. But over and above that, he has sat in many committees in the provincial government of KwaZulu-Natal, and even having led at the national government. But over and above that, Mr. Xaba is known to have done a sterling job at a social level, call it community level, as the cadre of the movement, cutting the leaf from the likes of Tumsan Makaya, where he led in his township of Claremont during the dark days in the 1970s.
So by all accounts, good news for residents there, or we hope so.
Such things can only bring hope, but you don't know until somebody is given the position. And for an ordinary people, the lay people like you and I, wouldn't know what goes on into the details. Obviously, eThekwini, as I say, he carries a lot of muscle in terms of the wealth that you can think of regarding KwaZulu-Natal per se. Maybe such good stories to tell about him may somehow follow in the same trajectory as that one of his predecessors in the form of Zandile Kumete and Mxolisi Kaunda. We only hope that is not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, a good measure is the first 100 days in office, isn't it? It's certainly how we like to sort of judge whether they have hit the ground running in various positions, and perhaps you and I will talk again in 100 days or so. Kuthula Thwala, let me thank you for your time this afternoon. Political analyst with the University of KwaZulu-Natal.